Let's talk gold now, and I love one quote from your book where you basically said, gold bugs will always argue with you, those who are calling for 5,000 gold. You're saying they're not necessarily wrong, but it might only happen once they are
when
dead.
they're dead. Yeah. I mean, gold, people have to realize, gold is a unique metal, very concentrated, high value. It has had a monetary role in the past, up until now, where it doesn't really correlate with the modern economy like it did in the 1800s, early 1900s, which was a commodity economy. Gold is a premier commodity, and it goes up and down with the commodity cycle. Guess what? Commodity cycles peak every 30 years. Look, 1920, 49.51, double top, 80. Almost every commodity topped in 1980, including gold and silver, and then crashed. And now, 2008, agriculture and energy topped, and then metals, and especially precious metals, peaked in 2011. Gold was the last one in September. It's been in a crash ever since.
But your forecast, 650 to 750 gold, that's almost half from the levels we're at.
That's the next stop. Ultimately, for gold to erase its bubble and get back to its bubble origin would be $400 to $450. Now, when gold hits that, I will be the first buyer. And I think it will in the next commodity bubble, which I can predict today will peak somewhere between 2038 and 40 with a pretty high degree of certainty, because this is such a consistent thing. It will probably be $4,000 to $5,000.
So then gold for you is solely a commodity. It's not money then.
It's not money. It was for most of history. Here's what gold is, and gold bugs don't get this. Gold is the most excellent inflation hedge in history. We can go back, I got a chart back to the 1700s. Gold, adjusted for inflation, does not appreciate because it is inflation. It is the best gauge and the best hedge against inflation. So when do you want to own gold? Late 60s to 1980, when we have the greatest inflation run in history. And gold went up 10 times in that period. Well, it's gone up recently, since 2009, because investors saw this massive money printing, and the natural response is, well, this is going to be inflationary. It wasn't, because this money printing is fighting deflation, deleveraging. The winter season is deflationary. The fall season, the 70s, was inflationary. That's when gold does the best.
So for now, 1900 was as good as it gets.
As good as it gets. I'm not going to be interested till we get more like $450, or if we get to as late as, say, 2022. One of those two things happen, I'm going to be a long-term buyer, because metals do the best in the commodities because they're scarcer. You can't farm gold and expand, like you can cattle and corn and stuff. So the metals do best. Gold is one of the best risk-adjusted metals. In other words, it doesn't go up as fast as platinum or lead or nickel or even silver, but it doesn't have the volatility. So it's one of the best long-term investments. So gold would be one of my picks for investors to get into when we see this bubble crash, and it hasn't crashed yet. Stocks haven't even started. Gold has started.
Harry, on that note, let's wrap here with your thoughts on Bitcoin hitting a new high today, 6,400. Where do you see it headed?
Well, the funny thing people understand, it's called a currency. It's not yet. But these Bitcoins and Ethereum, they are trading like the stocks of a new emerging company, like an IPO. They call them ICOs, initial coin offerings. So that's what you're doing. You're buying Bitcoin, you're betting on that technology and whether it's going to grow and continue to do well. And Ethereum probably looks better than Bitcoin right now, is that sort of raise. I think these are a short-term bubble. Investors right now, I wouldn't be chasing it now. It's gone up too much. If Bitcoin were to go back to $3,000, I'd be interested, because it does have strong momentum. I think this is the internet too, what I call the internet of value. The internet is done great. I mean, email and Google has changed I do 3 times the research with half the staff, literally, because of the internet and all this stuff. But that's in communication. It is failing in transactions, financial transactions. It's getting hacked to death. That's what blockchain technology, forget Bitcoin, Ethereum. Right. It's blockchain technologies which allow a transparent, much more secure, faster, and cheaper transactions platform. I think this is something that's going to grow for decades, and it's going to be internet too. So I'm very interested long term. Right now, I tell people, boy, only buy it when it's down. It is a good long-term trend, but don't buy it when it's just gone from 3,000 to 7,000 or something. It's too late to jump in.
Harry Dent, best of luck with your new book. It's out November 14th.
Yes.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.